What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Killer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem The Unspoken Sound and The Mantra of Protection. Now, don't mind me, I currently live in Australia and we're in summertime right now, and it's really, really hot. So I just couldn't be with my shirt on. It's just too hot for that. So just don't pay me no mind. Now let's get to the poem. So we're gonna start off with the unspoken sound. All right, let's get to it. My words are smoothly presented. To manifest, the mental seed must be planted. A corrupted heart leads to greed. An observant individual can never be deceived. Pave a path of wonders that ignites the soul. Dualism shows the world can be bright as snow and dark as coal. Therefore, embrace both perspectives. Your visions may be full of skeptics. Regardless, proceed on to the next phase. Always create your own tools and wiggle through the maze. Being in tune with your intuition is the definition of an empath. Having the calculation to your success is the true concept of maths, and that is the unspoken sound. Now it says, my words are smoothly presented. To manifest, the mental seed must be planted. So it's just like your words. Your words comes from the vibration. Before you speak with your physical audio tune or audio voice box, you have to have the vibration. You know what I'm saying? Based on your vibration is what will give out that certain word or give out that energy. You know what I mean? Vibration is energy. You know, if I say I'm happy, but in a very dull tone, and me saying I'm happy in a very excited tone is very different. It might be the same words or the same expression, but the way I express it is based on the vibration. So you have to be very careful what type of vibration you're onto before you bring it out, because the way you act, the way you are, your charismatic gifts, that is your internal vibration. That is your unspoken sound. It's your aura. You know what I mean? That's why people say, oh, this person has a very nice aura, because you're speaking, but without actually using your voice. It's just your energy speaking for itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to know that. And then it says, a corrupted heart leads to greed. An observant individual can never be deceived. So a corrupted heart leads to greed. So once your heart is what attracts things. It's like the feminine energy. It creates a vortex to bring things into existence, right? So if you're passionately, emotionally connected to something, that is what you're going to manifest into your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you're emotionally connected to things that are actually fruitful and actually beneficial for your life instead of things that will corrupt you, like greed. Because if you create that vortex and you've already had enough, you've already um, digested whatever you need to digest, but you want more and more and more, eventually your intuition will start to tell you, okay, you need to calm down a little bit and take things into consideration and do things into um, like balance. You want to make things balanced. You don't want to make things excess, right? You know what I'm saying? So be very careful and do that self awareness and that self check and realize, okay, am I getting into the energy of greed or am I getting into the energy of balance? And then it says, um, an observant individual can never be deceived. So if you're very observant, aka you're tapped into your internal senses, the most important thing is your internal senses. That's why I talk about the power of the subconscious mind, the power of the internal world, because the physical world can tell you one thing, but your internal world is what dictates and actually makes the judgment if that is going to be something you want to digest into you or is something you want to repel. So it's very important that you're tapping into those energy and you're realizing what you need to be discernment about and what is really for you and what isn't really for you. You know what I'm saying? And then it says, pave a path of wonders that ignite the soul. Dualism shows that the world can be bright as snow and dark as coal. So you have to pave a path of wonders that ignites the soul. So something that truly brings you to life, something that makes you happy. Whatever you're doing, it makes you happy. If it's teaching, it's working out, it's dancing, singing, whatever that brings joy and soul into your life, that's what's going to ignite the soul. You know what I'm saying? So you're the judge. You have to make sure to know what makes you happy, not what people expect from you outside world, but what makes you happy internally. And then it says dualism shows the world can be bright as snow and dark as coal. So a dualism just shows everything is dualistic in nature. And when I say bright as snow and dark as coal, I don't want you to have this mentality that's been given to us to think, oh, one thing is better than the other. light is better than darkness. You know what I mean? So you have to realize everything is needed. Just like this physical world, like the sun brings out this physical world and brightens up the physical things, the moon also brightens up the internal world. And your internal world is very important. You know what I mean? You don't want to neglect your internal world just for the sake of what is materialistic in the outside world. Now, I'm not saying that materialism isn't a bad thing too. I'm sorry, I'm not saying materialism is a bad thing too. You know, it's good to earn things physically too, but you have to have that perfect balance between the internal and the external. And then it says, therefore, embrace both perspectives. Your vision may be full of skeptics. So you have to embrace both perspectives. You have to embrace yourself, your power, your charismatic gifts, your happiness, and also embrace other people's perspective also, even if it disagrees with yours. If you can have that dialogue with those people, then that's a good thing. You know, you can find a common ground. But if you cannot, you just have to be grounded in yourself and know who you are as a person, just like they're grounded in themselves and they know who they are as a person. And as long as you're not hurting nobody, then you know it can be safe to have different opinions and different perspectives in life. So and then it says, yeah, your vision may be full of skeptics. So, certain people might, if they come from a different background or experience from you, they might automatically have a preconceptive skeptic of you. You know what I'm saying? Without getting to know you first. But that is not your job to explain that to those people. You just have to be yourself and let, like I said, the name of the poem is called "The Unspoken Sound." So your aura, your energy will speak for itself. You don't have to speak to certain people and try to convince other people. You just have to be yourself. And the people that gravitate towards your energy will be there for you. And the ones that don't will be repelled. And then it says, regardless, proceed on to the next phase. Always create your own tools and wiggle through the maze. So regardless, you have to keep going. You know what I mean? Everything is expansion. Just like the soul expands, just like you breathe, your chest is always expanding and contracting. That is the dualistic energy of existence. So it's very important that you're always going, no matter what tries to stop you, you're always going hard and you're always persevering. And then it says, always create your own tools and wiggle through the maze. So if you want to wiggle through the maze, you got to learn how to be intelligent and analytic. Because when you're doing an actual maze puzzle, you have to be mathematic and analytic. You got to be strategic. You know what I mean? This analytic, strategic, mathematic. You know what I mean? Those three words, the ticks. You have to be in these type of phases because that's when you can be able to wiggle through the maze. So it's very important that you're always having discernment also, whether it's in your life. You know, life is a maze also. You're always going through different directions and different spaces in life, and these things might block you, might be a hinder, and you might have to redirect yourself to a different position or a different location. And certain positions that you go through might actually be the opening and the gateway to a whole new world. So it's all about you being that judge and knowing what is truly for you and knowing how to wiggle through that maze. And then it says, being in tune with your intuition is the definition of an empath. Having the calculation to your success is the true concept of maths. So being in tune with your intuition is, okay, listening to that inner voice, listening to that inner gut, listening to that discernment that you have within you, even when the outside world is trying to convince you that that is not right. You have to be very grounded and very strong in your conviction and in your decision in what you're making in life. And then it says, because that's how you really be an empath. Okay, you'll be able to emotionally go through that path. That's what an empath is. You're emotionally traveling through certain scenarios and experiences, and that's when you can gain new wisdom and knowledge through those experiences. And then it says, having the calculation to your success is the true concept of maths. So the true concept of maths is calculating your success, having goals and visions. You know, like certain people in the world are celebrating their New Year's, right, in January. You want to be able to create that calculation of, okay, what am I trying to achieve for this new year? What am I trying to achieve and fulfill within this space that I've created? You know, spaces are always getting fulfilled. That's why it's called fulfilled. The full circumference of something, filling it up with certain matter and atoms and energy and you know, creativity and things like that. You're filling up that space, that womb. And once that womb has been full, it has to give birth to something new. Just like when you follow the moon cycle, you'll understand and understand what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, guys, that is the unspoken sound. That is the vibration that is within you, your natural aura, your natural energy. And the more you tap into that power within you, the more people will start to see and feel and recognize that energy and that unspoken sound. and you'll be able to inspire others to be able to reach their unspoken sound and reach their internal aura, and they can brighten that up into the world and bring something new into existence. So yeah, guys, that is the first poem. Now let's get to the next poem. So the next poem is yes, the mantra of protection. All right, let's get to it. Some opportunities come once in a lifetime. The road to glory can be swift or a steady decline. Never depreciate yourself just because you cling on to a desire. As you make your creativity a job, the goal is to expand, not retire. Make sure to heal your childhood traumas before it overwhelms you entirely. When you have set yourself up for greatness is when you can rest finally. Every step is a direction towards your chosen destination location. Constantly stressing about validations will leave you in the energy of intimidation. Many will come and go, but your soul tribe will remain forever. Protect your energy and space. Any ill intent will be returned back to sender. And that is the mantra of protection. I like that one. And mind you, guys, I wrote this like three years ago. So it's crazy how the things that I'm reading now are coming into fruition and they're perfectly matching the energy and everything that's going on. But if you realize the mantra of protection is it's like just like how you have in the Bible and you read certain chapters like Psalm and Proverbs, and you're meant to speak these things into existence to protect your energy and protect your life. So I've written my own that is called the mantra of protection. So now let's analyze it. It says some opportunities can come once in a lifetime. The road to glory can be swift or a steady decline. So certain things you have to, like I said, that's why it's very important to have discernment. Because if the outside world is trying to, tell you certain things like do this, do that, or your family or friends are saying do this, do that, but it's truly not aligned within you. You know what I mean? If you're not listening to your intuition, it's easy to get blinded by that. You can lose your actual natural path that you're meant to go to because someone else is giving you their path and their mission and their vision of their internal life. So you have to realize that we all have our own unique puzzle to this great vision, this grander vision. So it's very important that once you recognize that something comes once in a lifetime, you grab onto that and utilize it for your benefit instead of listening to the outside world where you can lose something that would have helped you in your life. And then it says the road to glory can be swift or a steady decline. So it's very important that the road to glory is, like I said, swift or steady decline. Everything's up and down. Everything's internal and external. So you have to realize that certain things will take you to a greater space, and certain things will set you back. And the more you can be persevere, and the more you can be very strong in what you're doing, the more things will start to come aligned for you and be more aligned and be within your perceptive range that you can actually be able to perceive what you're seeing and manifest that into your life. And then it says, never de-appreciate yourself just because you cling on to a desire. As you make your creativity a job, the goal is to expand, not retire. So it's very important that you have a full self-esteem. Your self-esteem is your money. Just like in astrology, the second house represents the physical, tangible things that you own. That also represents your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is tied to your property. And the more self-esteem you have, the more money you can manifest from that. So it's very important that you're always working on your confidence, you're working on your inner love, your inner strength, and you're always reciting things that actually make you feel you can actually achieve, not things that really make you feel less than. You know what I'm saying? So it's always very important that you show love to yourself and you're always feeding yourself great things, not things that are poisonous to your soul. And then it says, yeah, as you make your creativity a job, the goal is to expand, not retire. So if you're in the energy of creativity, that's like your inner child. So you want to give energy to your inner child, just like in a womb. When the mother has the child in her womb, she has to give energy, aka eat, and that food is metabolized and broken down, and that child can actually feed off what the mother is eating. Also, it's the same thing. You have to see yourself as that parent, that mother, and you're giving your inner child energy. And the more energy, aka creativity and expansion and persistence you're giving into that inner child, that creativity, the more that child will fully grow up to be something that is very impactful to the world and can also help you and everybody else. And then it says, make sure Make sure to heal your childhood traumas before it overwhelms you entirely. When you have set yourself up for greatness is when you can rest finally. So you have to make sure your childhood traumas is healed, because your childhood traumas might start from a mental seed. You know what I'm saying? And as a mental seed, that can grow and grow and grow. So the more you're growing, that childhood traumas follows you. And it's very important that you're wise and you're tapping into your senses to realize, okay, do I need to do some self-evaluation to work on that, so that I don't carry that mental pain through my adulthood, and also bring that onto other people. You know what I mean? Because whatever you have within you is what you're externalizing. So if you have a lot of pain within you, you might externalize that onto other people. So it's very important that you're going back, you're sitting by yourself, you close your eyes, meditating, whatever you got to do to realize, okay, what do I need to heal within me that might be a childhood trauma that I might not realize, and I'm self-projecting that onto other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you're doing this. And the more you do that, the more you're healing yourself. You're healing your generation. You're healing your children. So when you do give birth to children, they will be able to connect to their parent in a more helpful and healthy way. It won't be a very toxic way where the family is disorganized and things like that. You know what I mean? It will be more of a healthy way. So it's very important that you're healing yourself, and you're getting ready to bring that healing onto the next generation. And then it says, um, yeah, when you have set yourself up for greatness, you can rest finally. So that's what it's all about. It's all about working hard, putting in the effort, so that once you do what you've done, you have achieved what you've achieved. You can pass that on to the baton to your children, and you can finally rest because you've done your job as a parent to show them a great example of what it is to be great. But if you don't show them as an example of what it is to be great, then they have to decide on their own how to create that for themselves. Now, that might make them powerful and strong in their own sense, but at the same time, you're leaving them to do that on their own. So they're not going to really rely on you in terms of your emotions and your mentality once you do grow up, because they already know they can do things on their own and they never needed that help in the first place. So it's very important that you're actually helping each other out. You help yourself by healing yourself, and then your children can also heal you once it's time for them to do their job. And then it says, yep, every step is a direction towards your chosen destination location. Constantly stressing about validations will leave you in the energy of intimidation. So every step is a direction towards your chosen destination, whether it's good or bad, whether it's destructive or great. Some people's destination might be something that really is detrimental to their existence, and some people's destination might be something that actually helps themselves and other people. So it's very important that you're choosing that destination for yourself. That's why I talk about being an empath, because that's the path you're creating based on your emotions. You're utilizing your intuition to be able to, it's like being in the dark. It's like you close your eyes and you have to like trying to find where you're going. That's what it's called by using your intuition. You're seeing through the darkness. You're seeing with your internal eye. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. And then it says, yeah, constantly stressing about validations will leave you in the energy of intimidation. So if you're always worrying about validations, that's going to make you feel intimidated. That's going to make you feel you're lacking in something. And that's where jealousy and envy comes from. It comes from feeling of a lack of something within yourself. And the more you start to work on that, you start to build your self-esteem, aka not the physical self-esteem, the internal self-esteem. Once you work on that and you've achieved that, that's when you can be able to utilize that energy for your physical self-esteem. Because if you lack within yourself that self-esteem, you're always going to feel like you need physical things to heal that internal lackness. But once you have that within you, you've filled up your cup with your internal energy. That's when you won't feel the energy of jealousy and envy no more towards other people, because you have that within yourself. You're filled in your cup also. You have to see your vessel right now as a cup. And the more energy you're pouring into yourself, that's you filling up your cup. And then you can pour onto others, like in the Aquarius, the water bearer. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that once you fill yourself up, that's when you can be able to pour into other people. But if you don't fill yourself up internally, you're always going to feel like you need something externally to fulfill that. And that's what creates jealousy and envy and things like that. So it's very important that we're always doing that self-evaluation, that meditation to reach our internal destination. And then it says, many will come and go, but your soul tribe will remain forever. Protect your energy and space. Any ill intent will be returned back to sender. So many will come and go. Many will come and go. But your soul tribe is what's going to really be aligned in terms of frequency, vibration, and physically. You know what I'm saying? These people, like it says, real recognize real. So if you're a real person, you're going to recognize another real person. But if you're not real, then you won't be able to recognize another real person. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, if you're living a life of facade or living a life that is not truly yours, you're always going to feel envy of other people who are being their true self. So it's very important that we're all tapping into the energy of being our true self, our authentic self. And no matter if people like it or not, it's better to be hated being your true self than to be loved being an artificial person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to always tap into your true authentic self and smile and be happy that that's who you are as a person, no matter who stands against that. And then it says, protect your energy in space. Any ill intent will be returned back to sender. So your space is like a circle, and you're filling that up with energy. Now, the energy that you're filling up that circle with is up to you as the observer. So the more you fill up that room, that circle with, positive, or I don't want to say positive, but great energy and powerful energy, the more that's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? Because you have to see this outside world as a womb, just like you have your own internal womb. So the more you bring out that great energy, it's going to also come back to you. And anything that you give that is great, but someone tries to give something that is not great back to you, will return back to sender, because what they have thrown out into the world was something that wasn't truly for you. So it's going to deflect and go right back to them. And what you throw out into the world was something great. So it was going to come back to you tenfold, especially internally and spiritually. Now, it might not come physically, or it might come physically. That is the last part of everything. But as long as you have that internally, then everything else will be perfect for you, and everything else will be aligned for you in where it needs to be. So yeah, guys, that is the poems of today. So we read the poem the unspoken sound. So your natural aura, your natural vibration will be the unspoken sound that people just gravitate towards. And we read the mantra of protection. So it's very good that you're always protecting yourself by reciting or um, creating affirmations that is something that will actually elevate and expand you into something new and great, instead of things that will make you feel less than and make you feel of a lack. So yeah, guys, that is the poems of today. Hope you guys gained something new. And until next time, I'll catch you soon.